I think this should work. I'm filming in my bedroom because it's the only place that I can film now, because Danielle had a business call downstairs and it's been a little bit loud down there, so I came up here. And it's really hot here. It's been 36 degrees today, and I don't know, summer for you. I love it, I enjoy it. I've had a long winter and I'm not here to complain. Anyhow, greetings, beautiful beings. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Sophie and I welcome you here in this sacred space that I hold for us to have this exchange today. If you like anything that I put out, I would highly recommend you to subscribe, because there's more to come. I just got into like a video filming groove and there's really good content to come your way. So hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and there's generally more to come from here. So I swear I will come into like a groove as well for making an intro. I feel like I'm either like a very chilled Buddha, spiritual, chill AF person, I've already said chill, or I'm rambling all over the place. So I'm not sure if I'll ever get into a groove. If you think I've hit a groove like down the line, definitely tell me, but it's not there yet. So now that I've had an hour-long intro, let's get into today's video, which is how we participate and are in a system that we all hate, and how we can escape and be in peace. So what I mean by the system is generally, well, I'll be looking down in this video because I have my handy little notebook here, because I've written down some things that I want to touch on in this video. But generally what I talk about when I refer to the system is this capitalism, cash is king, competition, overworking, hustle culture, matrix, for lack of a better word, or for the best word ever to describe this feeling. So if you've ever felt overwhelmed, unsatisfied, unhappy with any of these concepts, then I want to tell you that you're not alone. Especially now. I think there's thousands, if not millions, of people coming to realize that the system is not built to produce happy people. So capitalism, the hustle culture, competition and overworking is just not made to benefit the overall well-being of our human experience. And I think it's taking a toll on the population in general, and a lot of people are waking up to this realization, and there's a lot of questions being asked around this, like how did I get here, what happened, what led me to be here, how can I escape, what can I do? And I think if you are at the stage of asking those questions, you have already done a massive leap, which is awareness. The first step is always awareness that something's gone not right in your life, or you realize that something's not serving you anymore and you are aware of the problem now. So I think the way we've been told from a very young age to compete for attention, to the way that it's been conditioned in us to think that if there's a winner to a solution, there's a loser to a solution, and how that's how you succeed in life, is that you win more times than you lose. And we were made to believe that in order to win, we have to overcome others. So competition was born, and the evolution theory from Darwin also emphasized this. And I want to tell you that Darwin himself pointed out in his conclusion of his document that his theory has its flaws, and he pinpointed to the points where it was the weakest and it was bleeding, and he basically said that this might not be the answer to everything. And despite that fact, it was adapted as scientific dogma, and the competition for the fittest to survive and the toughest to evolve and to reproduce was born. So I think we are not alien to the fact that money is king, cash is king, if I must say, because during both of my bachelor's and master's in business, I've been told that cash is king, and to see capital, cash, investments as a way of advancing in life. And a lot of the times, especially in corporate settings, that means that you get money from some place else or from someone else, again competition, again someone losing and you gaining, and you end up being the owner of capital and building something based on your interest, your company's interest. And I think from a very early age, what competition and being conditioned to compete makes us become is that it makes us very selfish. So it does not it does not need a lot of thinking to come to the conclusion that if you think in a way that how can I advance to get somewhere in life where I'm not now, that's a very self-centered way of thinking, because normally what a 20-something-year-old might have in mind as a goal is career, is money, is house, acquiring more possessions, traveling the world, and these are all nice and dandy experiences and things to strive for. But what it lacks, or it lacks others' perspectives, it lacks the consideration of others. And I think that's where capitalism is weak. That's where it will fall down eventually, is where people come together in communities and they recognize that it's, instead of competing for resources and instead of competing for attention and opportunities, if they share their resources, their knowledge, their time, their connections, if they share those things, instead of competing, they will cooperate, and they will know and they will realize that individually they are weaker than if they come together. If you've ever been familiar with the concept of the sum of the parts separately is weaker than the whole, then this will make a lot of sense for you, because you never know what comes from cooperation and what other people will bring out in you, and how it could coerce into a better future and a better world, basically. So I believe that in being dissatisfied with capitalism, with hustle culture, and with this very selfish way of living, in this awareness lies the chance to transform this world and transform our world for the better. And I think where the key component for that is to become less selfish and think more about what you can do with what you have to help others. And that's where I think we come to like the half point of this video, that now we know the problem, now we are aware of a situation that's not favorable, that we'd like to change, and I think this is the solution. Being aware that if you're sitting in front of a smartphone or a computer and listening to me right now through a screen, and you have, most probably you have a roof on top of your head, you are sitting under a roof, you are fed, you have clean water, you have access to all these things that a lot of people do not have access to worldwide. So the first step after, like, step 0 is awareness. Step 1 is being aware of your privileges and paying your debt in gratitude for that every single day. Because if you have food, shelter, and the ability to educate yourself through the internet or through the education system, then you are more privileged than millions on this earth. So get yourself a notebook and just write down your privileges. I'll be honest with you here, and I'll share you my privileges that I think that I hold valuable for myself, and then we can progress from this video and I'll build on my privileges on that. So I have been conditioned to believe that you are valuable based on your certifications, your degrees. So I'll start with those, and in a later video I'll get into like limiting beliefs and how you are not just your certificates and your position and your net worth in dollars, euros, or whatever currency you are calculating it, but that's a whole other video. So my privileges is that I've had a very privileged upbringing, even though I was in a household of divorced parents and my mom basically raised us almost herself. I grew up in a family of good fortune. My mom is working in the family business, and after my high school I could go into my bachelor's degree, and even though it was not, I could do my bachelor's degree abroad, I have to tell you that I did my bachelor's degree here in Austria and I went to high school back in Hungary. So I did my bachelor's in Austria, and I was in the very privileged position that my family could support me throughout my bachelor's degree, and it's a very different system in Europe than it is in other countries or continents with the education system. But to be completely transparent with you here, back in the day it used to be around 400 euros per semester for my business degree. So my parents or my mom did pay me that amount of money for me to put me through college. And I also went to live in Italy based on my grades with an Erasmus internship, and then I had the privilege to move to the UK, where I worked some more bar jobs and pub jobs and some client work, and then I was again in the privileged position financially as well as mentally to be able to go and move to Sweden on my own terms and start and finish a master's degree at the University of Lund in entrepreneurship and innovation. So that's my second degree in business, and for any European citizen, if you get in and if you're accepted in a Swedish university, it's free. So all you have to do is to earn a living for living there. And again, full disclosure, I was living with Daniel, my partner is still here, and he was working his ass off during his time or our time in Sweden, and he paid for most of our expenses. So I think these are my biggest privileges, because this knowledge that I've acquired through 3 universities over the course of my education, I want to be able to be aware of that, and I want to be able to share that knowledge with you here for free so that you can benefit from them and you can maybe decide on what you want to do as a career, if business is for you or not. So I think for now, for the sake of this video, I will stop with my privileges here because it's quite a large chunk, because I believe that if you go to university, it's not just the degree or the paper that you acquire, it's the network, it's the experience of actually living abroad. So these are my privileges. I have knowledge from this, I have network from this, and my time invested is now what I use on a daily basis to sustain myself, and what I intend to use to build up to earn even more and to help even more people, where I can share my privileges and experiences. And that's the second step of, once you are aware and you've listed your privileges, be sure to share that privilege with others. If it's through getting a job somewhere for someone you know needs a job, or if it's free advice, or if it's YouTube videos, or if it's writing a blog post about something you know, or something that's second nature to you, that's a very good way of tackling this uncomfortable feeling that you have towards capitalism and greed and this system of hustle culture and overstepping others. So step into this situation, this energy of selflessness, and embody that on a daily basis, and give your privileges, share your privileges with others. And that's what I intend to do with this channel from now on. I want to share my experience, my knowledge, from my academic experience, from my professional experience, and from just my overall human experience, so that we all can live a better life. And I want you to also consider doing the same. List your privileges, list what comes natural to you, list what you know better, and be generous with that. Give advice, give a helping hand to someone. Refer a friend to someone in your connection, or give your connections share your connections with anyone who needs a job, who needs advice, or who needs someone to talk to. So this is one of the aspects that you can help, and the other one is short and sweet, and I think that it was just a matter of time that in my videos we always come to this, and it is to know yourself, to step away from technology and to turn inward. I'm a firm believer that if you turn inwards, there's a lot to be learned, and there's almost every answer can come to you if you look inward and you remove all the clutter, all the technological noise, all the feed noise, all the content from your head, and just get the hell out and remove yourself from technology and be alone with your thoughts, with your feelings, and lean into that. So there'll be plenty of more videos on how to do all these things that I've talked about in this video, and I'll also share my knowledge and experience in my upcoming videos. So if that's up your alley and you'd like to hear more about business, Dolce Vita, and spirituality, I will encourage you to hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up, because it really supports my channel. And as always, my love goes to you, and I hope you have a beautiful day today, and I'll see you in my next video, which will be very soon. Bye.